How is BlackRock going to join the XRP ETF game? Why haven't they moved forward, and what's stopping them? In this video, we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about some new details about Ondo Finance, Chainlink, and JP Morgan. This is a big deal that will mark the beginning of the next round of tokenization with banks. We'd like to be a part of that. Let's look into this more and see what's going on. Why BlackRock isn't making an XRP ETF yet. So I believed this was useful. Some of you guys bring this up a lot during my live stream, so I wanted to have a more open conversation. If you find this helpful, please hit the like button. It helps me out, and you can leave a comment below if you want to chat. Even though XRP is one of the most wanted altcoins for an ETF, BlackRock hasn't moved on it yet. Here's why. Short-term legal uncertainty. The SEC hasn't fully said whether XRP and other crypto assets are securities or commodities. Is that still true? Courts have said that XRP is not a property, but the SEC keeps putting off decisions about ETFs. That is correct. Now, approvals won't come until June or October. BlackRock isn't going to do anything until all the rules are clear. New products that are good enough for institutions. In order to protect themselves from danger, big investors use futures. The CME, futures for Bitcoin and Ethereum, are very popular. Monday, the 19th, was the day that XRP started CME futures with $19 million, 0 cents in 1 day's worth of deals. The XRP futures market is still new, but this is a big step forward. Before getting involved, institutions usually wait for things to be stable, busy, and have more cash on hand. As of now, liquidity is not strong enough. XRP is one of the best altcoins in this group because it has a large market. XRP is right behind Ethereum, as you can see. There is also USDT, which is sometimes a little higher than XRP. However, XRP is the third biggest cryptocurrency that isn't a stablecoin. SEC keeps a close eye on things. The SEC has done a lot to move this along, but surely they could do even more. We need to get this stuff cleared. What are they doing right now? Is it just sitting there and waiting? Maybe they're waiting for some of these bigger companies to start applying for these ETFs. If some smaller companies get their spot ETFs approved first, I think the bigger companies might lose some work. There's something strange going on here, but I'm not sure what it is. Pay attention to what's already working. BlackRock's Bitcoin and Ether ETFs are getting a lot of money. BlackRock's main goal right now is to make what is already working even better. Competitive timing, XRP and Solana are the most popular ETFs for applications right now. BlackRock might wait to see how the SEC handles these reports before getting involved. They are waiting for demand to grow and for regulations to get better. BlackRock is just waiting. In addition, they are waiting for people to ask for these items. You could say that the main reason BlackRock got into Bitcoin was because their website had hundreds of thousands of people looking for these products all the time. So if we can get the same level of demand for XRP, BlackRock will have to act. That means you have power now. You could email or call BlackRock or one of the other big banks if you have an account there and haven't seen anyone apply for a spot ETF for XRP. You have power. Now you just need to use it, all right? Also, I have a free course that will teach you everything you need to know about crypto in less than an hour. There is a link at the bottom of the page. Please let me know if you want to take that. So institutional demand is another thing that keeps Bitcoin and Ethereum from becoming widely used. That was something we talked about. When it comes to XRP, BNB, Litecoin, and Solana, XRP is the most wanted spot ETF. In fact, I believe that SU will also be very famous in the coming years. Speaking of which, I think you'll see an SUE ETF at some point too. Yes, this does talk about digital asset investment goods from last week. The net flow of money came in at about $6 million, 0 cents, ending 3 weeks of net withdrawals. XRP made the difference, bringing in nearly $40 million, 0 cents in net new money. This is a place where a lot of value is being used. There are also some cool links between you. One of them is Craig Phillips. He had jobs at BlackRock and, of course, Ripple. Craig has 35 years of experience in the field and has been a leader at Morgan Stanley and BlackRock. They do hire the best people, so it's always interesting to see who they choose. They should hire the smartest people if they want to be the biggest blockchain technology company in the world, right? If you want to go far in life. BlackRock is said to be keeping a close eye on Ripple and SEC. In other words, there's more information about the same thing. For instance, BlackRock brought up the SEC's case against Ripple and its leaders over the sales of XRP. You could say that BlackRock isn't sure if they want to touch this. Until this is all over with, I believe there is still some work to be done on this case. It's not quite done yet. Also, I think that might be what's stopping BlackRock from really getting in here. Robbie Mitchnick and I also went through this, put together a whole video about Robbie Mitchnick. This is really amazing. Mitchnick is a member of the Corp Executive CEO executive team and is in charge of BlackRock Digital Ad Services Plan. Before working for BlackRock, Mr. Mitchnick worked at Ripple and for the CPP Investment Board, where he worked on public markets and private investments. So you have someone who is pretty much in charge. He is the managing director of BlackRock's digital asset strategy and used to work at Ripple. So he knows how things are linked and how complicated it is that something like XRP is both a tool and an asset in the financial world, and Bitcoin is more of a trading store of value. This is another short rerun that Mikkel did. Guys, I'm so excited for this. ArchX will provide custody for their partners who use Ripple solutions. This means that the biggest banks in the world will be able to issue money market funds and other tokenized assets in Ripple's custody solution and on the XRP system. Guys, this is the proof I need to be sure that BlackRock will be working very closely with Ripple. I don't know what else could make you more optimistic about the idea of an XRP ETF coming soon. If that doesn't, guys, I really think this is going to be a great relationship from now on, and this is still in its very early stages. Okay, this also goes to JP Morgan and car loans. So this was the first tokenized US Treasury. It's really exciting to have JP Morgan systems working with infrastructure like Do Finance and Chainlinks to move this value. This is the first tokenized US Treasury. That's really cool. Let me play this. For the payment of tokenized assets, what does this mean? Yes, this is a big first for the business world. Chain, our public blockchain, was used to buy tokenized treasuries from JP Morgan's permission blockchain ledger as part of a deal we just finished. These two types of blockchains can now work together for the first time between a bank's licensed blockchain and a public blockchain like Chain. That's why it was a test. What's going to happen next? How does that look? Yes, this was the first deal on the testnet for the Chain. And it was a test trade to make sure it worked. We're also working closely with James Link and JP Morgan to get this place up and running. If you are a client of either JP Morgan or Ondo, you will be able to move money between our tokenized cash goods once we are fully operational. 24. We're thrilled to share that with you. In what way does that help? Yes. To sum up, tokenized treasuries on public blockchains, such as the ones we've been working on, aim to make US treasuries easier for buyers from all over the world to access. We're building on the success of stablecoins, Over $200 billion 0 cents in stablecoins are in circulation right now, which means that people in emerging countries can use the dollar. There are people in the crypto ecosystem who don't have easy access to banking services. At the same